Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio for day 17 of hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018, which is a month-long art journaling daily challenge from Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. You can still join in, you can still use the prompts, there's no pressure. If you'd like to, just go over to Facebook, ask to join Art Joy of Sharing, and make sure that you answer the questions because we do look at them. So, today's prompt is horn, and I decided to get out my pastels, and I went to a site called Unsplash, which has royalty-free photographs, and I picked a photograph, and it's a very horny guy. It's a sheep. He's got big curly horns, and he's pretty awesome. So first I put some pastel ground on my page. This page is made out of junk mail. It had some white gesso on it already, but when you're using a smooth paper for pastels, if you're not using like a pastel paper or board that's designed specifically for them, you need something called tooth, because pastel is basically some powders and it needs to have somewhere to go down into to adhere. So pastel ground is a medium that you can use on any surface that can make your pastels stick better and have more depth in the surface to settle into. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I'm trying. So then I got out my Derwent pastel pencils. Now I like my pan pastels and I'll be using those, but when I'm trying to draw something or, put color in a very specific place, and I tend towards illustration, so I like lines. I like something that I can control better. And the smallest tool that I have for the pan pastels is this pointy one that has like a rubbery pointy thing. And it's just not small enough to draw for me. So I went ahead and bought the pastel pencils to use in conjunction with my pan pastel. Pan pastels are a creamy, pigmented stuff in a pan. That's why it's called pan pastels. And they're not oil pastels because they're not greasy like oil, but they're very highly pigmented and they have some sort of some kind of creaminess to them. And I'm not sure what, if I knew what it was constructed of, I could construct it myself, right? So it's magic. But yeah, they're really awesome. They're so like opaque and easy to use and paint with, and I don't know why I don't do it more often because I love how this page turned out. I'm kind of feeling like I need to do a series of pastel paintings of cute animals because, I just love cute animals. And it would be fun, but I don't have time for that right now. Just this page. But I got out a couple of the wand tools. They have like a plastic wand, and then they have, these are the soft tools, SOFFT, that were designed to go with the pan pastels. They're like a dense sponge, very dense sponge, hard kind of almost, but still has give, and the pastel can get down in that sponge and you can use it to apply it. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and they're good for stenciling. That's what Peg prefers for stenciling. Of all the types of stenciling tools that there are, she likes soft sponges best. They're just a dense sponge. I don't know. So I got out the pointy one and a more round tip one, and there's also a square tip one, and there's one that's kind of like an eyeshadow applicator, kind of like an oval. Then there's all different ones of these. They look like cosmetic sponges. There's an oval. There's every kind. And I got out one of these ones that looks like a cosmetic sponge to me. It's like got the pointier triangle shape. And I'm using that to apply the background, which in the photo, and I'll put the photo credit in the description box below if you want to go look at the photo that I used as reference for this. In the photo, it has a has a blurred background, like just, I don't know, like soft focus. When you if you have an iPhone, it has that option where you can do portraits, and the thing in the front is very, very clear, and the all the background is fuzzy. If you know what I mean, that's what the photo looked like. I don't know if he took it with his iPhone or not. Probably not, but that's the type of effect it is. So I'm trying to put that type of a blurry background in using first the triangle sponge, and then I come in with the rounded tip one and add in some more of the darker shades where they were kind of. I don't need it to look exactly like the photo, but I'm getting the feel of the photo. I actually changed the colors of the background. They were very tan and brown, and I wanted to add in some green and yellow in the background because I thought that the sheep would stand out more if it had a different background. So, artistic license, I can change it up however I want because that's my prerogative. The photo is for reference. It's not because I'm trying to duplicate the photo. I can change whatever I want. So then in the sheep's body, so far I've mostly used the round one with a couple different colors. And then now I'm using the more pointy one in the sheep's face. And he has a very black face, but then the body part was kind of dirty white. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've seen. Well, I have seen sheep like that though. They have the black head and then black tail and black legs, and then the body part is white. I've seen sheep like that before, but not one with curly horns like this. Remember, the prompt is horn. And I had a couple of different eyes, like toot your own horn, or maybe some type of celestial angel that's blowing the horn, something like that. But I came up with this instead, and I really enjoyed it. This is really fun. I like animals. I like cute animals. In fact, I really haven't met animals that I don't think are cute. If you look at their face and their big eyes and stuff, they're cute. They're just cute. So then I started on the horns. The horns are the important part, and I'm making sure that I put in as much of the shading as I can, the shading and the highlights to give those horns dimension as if they're coming off the page at you. I know that a ram has these horns so that it can defend its territory or its female or whatever. And usually they fight with them, but these curly ones, how does that even work? It's curly. It wouldn't like stab anything. I don't know. It's weird. But that's the kind of horns it has. So, and I can't tell you what breed of sheep this is or anything, but I'm sure someone knows and they'll probably post it in the comments because that's usually what happens. When I say silly questions that I wonder about in my brain, people usually answer me in the comments. I think sometimes people Google it for me and then they answer in the comments. Happens all the time. That's good. I learn from reading my comments. I do read all the comments and I do answer all the comments. Sometimes it's just a thank you. Sometimes I say something else, but I do read them all every time, no matter how many there are. So I always will read your comments. That's why you should leave them, because that's good for me and good for you. So another thing that I have is this Spectrafix. It's a workable, my gosh, I can't even speak. Workable fixative, and it's non-aerosol, so it doesn't stink. It's got a pump sprayer, but my pump sprayer is in kind of weird condition, and it squirts out too much of the Spectrafix, so I have to pat it dry a little bit because I get puddles, which kind of make the pigment move, which bothers me. I need a new sprayer for it. It's just not functioning properly. I've tried cleaning it out. I've tried everything I know how to do to try to make it work. But yeah, I need to just be done with it and get a new one probably. Because I just want a fine mist. So what a workable fixative is it seals in what you've already done, and then you can still work over the top of it. It's not like a glossy, shiny seal, like a finish coat or whatever. It's so that you can continue to work, but you can preserve the layer that you have so far. So now I'm back in with the pencils again because I want some more specific, in certain spot I need to put stuff, you know, and it's not easy for me to do with the soft tools. I almost wonder if like something like one of those pipe cleaners, but with the really short hair on it, if I bend at the end of that and use it, if it would be like, you know, specific enough for me to put something in a very small area. But I haven't tried it. I just stick with the pencils. I have the pencils. I bought them for that specific reason. So there's no reason for me to try something else. I just don't think the soft tools have a tiny enough point for me. So I'm adding a little bit of pink around his nose and mouth. And of course I'm adding in the black details around his eyes. The sheep had very long lashes. You know, why do they get the long lashes? Why do I have short lashes? That's not fair. I was at the eye doctor the other day, and they had this poster up of some sort of a lash lengthening serum that you put on your eyelids, I guess, and it helps your lashes grow. I don't know. Don't know if that works or not, but it was at the eye doctor. So I guess if you have short lashes, you have an opportunity to grow them with some sort of a vitamin serum or something. I don't know. You always wonder if you put something on your eyes if it's going to burn. So I'm using the white pencil for a very white highlight, the lightest highlight. And that's probably the shortest pencil in my set because I use it so often. Then I'm using different combinations of the black and a dark brown and a dark gray. And I think I even bring a yellow in to add the details to the horns. There's like, they're not smooth. They have lines in them, cracks in them. And so I need to make sure to add that. And I need to make sure that the highlight where the sun is coming out is in the right place. So it's just some fussiness, but all those little details that you put into something make it better. So I could probably sit around and fuss with it for a really long time. I think this page took me around an hour, 30 minutes, maybe. I'm not sure. It's sped up 4 times fast. And then, of course, some pieces are taken out, like when I'm drawing and things like that. There's no sense in you watching me dry something with a heat tool. You've seen that before. I'm also using some rusty colors. There was a lot of variation of color in the photograph. So it wasn't just a solid color. I might be adding a few little lines, you know, like you do, where maybe they aren't, but this is fun. Painting with pan pastels is really fun. I like it. I just don't do it often enough. But for this challenge, I've been trying to get things out of my drawers instead of just using the things that are right there that I haven't put away yet that I always use. He had kind of a freckly nose and like maybe some areas above his mouth where there might be whiskers or something. There was some little dots. One thing about pan pastels, you can erase them. So if you make a mistake or you want to change something, you can erase, which is nice. I hope you guys are enjoying this challenge and these daily videos. If you are, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And of course, like I said before, you can leave me a comment or question and I'll be sure to read it. It might not be the same day, it might be the next day, but I will read and respond. So now I'm just, I'm kind of blending areas where I had used the pastel pencil just a little bit, just kind of patting with one of those soft tools. and just blending them out a little bit because it gets a little bit crayon-y looking, you know, scratchy looking. So I didn't want it to be like that. Then I put another good coat of Spectrafix on there and gave it a good dry so that it would be sealed. And now I need to do my edging with my Memento Black ink. You know, I do like that. And I guess I used my Posca pen. I forgot about that, to put just a tiny little catch light in the ram's eyes. Just, I could have done that with the white pastel pencil too. It just, I don't know. Can I do a page without the white Posca pen? Is that like not against the rules? So I got out an alphabet stamp set. This is a funny stamp set, but it's discontinued. It's from Stampin' Up. You might be able to find it on eBay or something. It's called Collage Alphabet. But I did find one on Amazon that's very similar, also called Collage Alphabet from a different company. So I linked that on my list of materials if you would like to have something like this. And I stamped my sentiment on there with the black ink in a kind of, you know, like it's been like a ransom note, kind of. That's kind of what it is, I guess, like a ransom note where it's all the letters are cut out from something different and you paste them on there. And I think it's cute. I just think it's adorable. It says, if you got it, flaunt it. I'm not happy with all the pages I've made this month, but I'm very happy with this one. So it makes me laugh. So anyway, the close-ups are coming, and that's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow.